All right, Broncos country, welcome back to the Mile High Monsters. I'm Mike Carmelini, and it is Saturday night, and you know what that means. It's the chat, it's the week in review, it's a mixed bag. You never know who'll jump on or who won't jump on. I might just go for the record. I think we set the record. I don't know, a couple weeks ago at about 2.5 hours or something like that. But hopefully we don't do that. But we'll go over the news of the week, whatever else you guys want to talk about. I've got some thoughts on Sean Payton and Kay Adams. Like, you're not fooling anybody, all right, guys? So we're going to get into all that. So let's do it. Like, I'm starting to wonder if that is annoying or not. Like, I don't normally do intros, but I really like that one. It's kind of cool. Let me know in the chat what you guys think about that. If that's annoying or not. If I don't have to have it. I mean, it didn't take me that long to finish it. Hope you guys can hear me. Make sure my mic is on. Looks like it is. Let's obviously the biggest news of the week. The Broncos acquiring Jalen Waddle from the Miami Dolphins, first and a third and a fourth, swap fourth. Everybody wants to assign a winner and a loser to these trades. I don't particularly care about all that. I know that we got the player that we wanted. I got the player that we needed. I'm real happy about it personally. This is a move that, and Troy Rank said it, or like, I tweeted something out and Troy retweeted it, and he was like, this is what I'm talking about. The schedule's tougher, playing some big boys out there. This was like one move that could really move the needle for the Denver Broncos. It opens up the passing game, obviously, but it also opens up the run game. It opens up the tight end passing game. It'll keep our opponents from stacking the box too much, because now we've got a player who could take the top off of defense. So, there's a lot of buzz about this trade, and what's it going to do to the wide receiver room? Are we going to trade people? Are we going to sit it out and go with the guys? I personally think, and I've said this for a long time, so obviously I'm not saying anything you guys haven't heard before from me. But when you've got, and you put me on the spot, I'll probably screw this up, but when you got Waddle and Court, Mims, Pat Bryant, and Troy Franklin, that's 5 guys, right? That's a really good wide receiver room. And so trading any of those players to me sounds silly. Sean's pet project, little Jordan Humphrey, we've been talking, maybe it's time to move this guy to tight end or something. And Bandy, you can sit him on the practice squad. I don't care, whatever. But, the room's really good right now. So I really don't want to mess with it. And it's also an all-in move, right? You gave up a first and a third for a wide receiver. You brought back 21 of 22 starters. I guess if you count, John Franklin Meyer as a starter, he's a rotational starter for sure. So, they're bringing back the band, and they added one big lead singer. And, to me, I think that's turned out to be pretty smart, as judgy as I was at first, kind of there in action. Not a lot going on. The Broncos signed, of course, Taysom Anderson from the Bengals. He's a special teams player, linebacker. Good-looking player, tough guy. If they just use him on special teams, that's probably fine. I think we've got, I guess it depends on, where you look and who you read, but we've got anywhere between 74 and 85 players on the roster right now. That's not going to mean a lot in camp. A lot of these guys signed 1-year contracts to come back, futures and UDFAs. These are placeholders. We have to get to 90 or up to 90 until we go to our final 53. So those numbers will move around a lot. And with, I think, 7 draft picks, you can put us at like 80 to 82 players. So there's still room for some free agent movement out there. And I think you guys know that we're looking at linebacker, we're looking at tight end, we're looking at running back, and probably defensive line, to be honest with you. So that's kind of the week in review. You know, I guess in some ways you could call it active just because of the size of the move. But honestly, the Broncos have just been kind of watching. And I think what's going to happen, now that Sean's getting blown out in his flag football foray that he went into, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a little action next week. So let's say out of the chat, we got David Yunkin in the house as always. I still think Sean will call plays, in my opinion. I don't, but I would not count out him taking him back at some point if Davis Webb is struggling. Sean's given play calling out and pulled it back before, notably with the Saints. I can't remember who it was. But also, even Sean himself said that he was talking to somebody about how he was in the hospital or he was sick, and he handed over play calling duties to one of his assistant coaches or his offensive coordinator, and they ended up winning the game like 40-16 or something like that. It was like the most points they scored all year. So I think it was time. I think it's definitely worth the try, but I mean, Sean's still going to be there, right, in Webb's ear, right? So, if he sees something he doesn't like, and don't think Webb's not going to, if Sean tells him to run a play, he's going to run a play. So, Brandon, Broncos fan, 10:30. What's going on, brother? It's good to see you back in again. I'm starting to get used to that. It's a lot of fun. Hear me out. No kidding. Like what the heck, man? How do I do this? All right. If you are Mike Kliss, or Andrew Mason, Luca Evans, Zach Stevens, whoever, and you're at a press conference, this is what you see. This is the Sean Payton you get. Stoic, angry, sarcastic. I love him. I like when he gets pushed. It doesn't happen too often. You don't get kicked out of the room. But this is what we see, right? This is what our local guys see. And for comparison, this is what Kay gets out of Sean. I mean, come on. It's like the guy she told you not to worry about. Like this is a Sean we don't see when he's being interviewed in Denver, like ever. Did you guys see the video of Sean doing the waddle with Kay? I was at yesterday or whatever. Here's another one. Like, look at these guys. This is like FaceTiming my wife. She's in Phoenix right now. This is like what you expect from a couple, giving each other a little crap. I don't know, man. I'm not saying, I'm just saying. Like, he's 62, she's 30 something. I don't know. I shouldn't be saying that. It's probably not true. It's probably just a bunch of crap. Just having fun with it. Visionhausen. I love that name. The deal with Sean and Kay is that Sean loves her. I think she loves him too, man. But I don't know if it's like a father figure thing or, maybe she had daddy issues, but she definitely has at least a media crush on him. But yeah, he loves her. He's totally infatuated with her. Like, she just melts him. She could probably get all our draft picks out of him if she wanted to. Like I don't doubt that for a second. So I think it's funny, man. I'm sorry. I just think it's like a little crush. Okay, we've got a football take here. I would sign T Hill for a league minimum. have him on the roster to be used by week 5 of the season. Tyreek Hill? You would sign T. Hill? I don't know, man. He's really hated in Denver. I don't think I'd sign him, but I mean, God, I'm sure he can still play, but that's like the Stephon Diggs thing with me. Like with me and David, we're always fighting about whether we'd take Stephon Diggs, and it's like we got such a good room now. Everybody's cool. Everybody's going to learn their part. And now with Waddle, I mean, I know that Hill is probably still faster and all that. It's not like Sean throws the greatest, deep bombs or whatever. I think Waddle is probably a better fit. If Hill wasn't such a, piece of crap, I'd probably be down with it. But he and Stephon Diggs are both, they're not Broncos, man. They're like, we try to avoid those guys as much as possible. I agree. They would, but I don't know, man. I just can't go there, chat. You let me know if I'm wrong, but does anybody here want Tyreek Hill on the Broncos besides Broncos fan 1030? T Fish is my guy. Harrow, is that calling me a hero? Or am I missing something? Because I'm always missing something. I don't know the cool lingo or who players are. So, you missed me. Shy, what's up, buddy? So excited for the season. Man, me too. Went over it. Man, I sent out a tweet. It was harmless. Just saying that the, next season we've got like a tough schedule. And, kind of going over it and saying, hey, this team could absolutely be better as a team and win less games, because like that 14-3 last year was wild. It's rare. Sean averages like 10 to 11 wins a season. I can see, and I think I ended up saying, hey, look, if the Broncos can go 12-5, that's great. They could still take the division. They could still, get the number 1 seed. Like, look, the Pats they don't have that easy schedule next year. So I argued that the Broncos have the best roster in the AFC. And I stood by that. And I think Colin Cronin will be on tomorrow. We'll talk about that. He'll probably push back on me. But speaking of that, welcome to the show, everybody watching who doesn't normally watch. I appreciate you watching here. If you're new to the station, I'm Mike, huge Broncos fan, and I've been doing this for a couple years now. We've got a great following here. We got a great bunch of monsters in here in the chat every week. We'd love to have you in here. Please hit the subscribe button and help us out. Hit the like too, because for some reason YouTube loves that. And we just got monetized yesterday. So got a nice little note from YouTube, said congratulations, you're monetized, and you're like a big shot now or something. I don't know. I don't even know what that means. I'll figure that out later when I got time. T Fishes, I wish you did phone insurance interviews. Wish you did phone ins. Oh, so you could call in. I do too, man. Nobody does that because, well, I think radio stations do that, right? But I'm not a radio station. I wouldn't know how to do that. If I could figure that out. But man, I'll send you the link to the show. You just got to click the link, and then you can come on and put your face right on the screen if you want. We can figure that out. Hit me up in the DMs. I usually open this up to a bunch of guys, on Saturday nights when I do these kind of long form BS sessions with you guys. Again, my wife is out of town. It's not that I don't miss her. It's just that, there's a lot less dishes. There's just a little more pizza, a little more guides, shows, and, plenty of time to come out here and talk Broncos football with you guys, and, don't have to worry about how long it goes. So, but T Fishes, I'd love to have you on sometime, man. So what are we looking at here? Well, let me say hi to Jackson first because he's a regular too. Jackson's good to see you. What's up, Mike? Hope you're having a great weekend. I'm having a fantastic weekend. Do miss the wife. She's the loveliest thing that ever walked the face of the earth. But it's nice to it's nice to be able to just like watch what you want, like Yellowstone or Landman or Tulsa King or something with a bunch of F bombs in it that she's usually like not too hip on. So yeah, it's been great, and I hope your weekend's been great too. So let's go through this real quick here, and just to show you kind of what I was talking about. Like, let me bring this screen up so I can move it because I think I actually shared this screen with you. Did I lose it? I did. I hate when I do that. So the Denver Broncos schedule. So it's not quite the schedule yet. It's more like their opponents, right? And this isn't nearly as cool as the screen I had before, but I'm going to share it with you anyway, just so we can all look at it together. All right. Now, can I get it on the stage? I can. All right. So we're over in this area, right? Here we are. We're over here. So 2026 at home, of course, we've got Chiefs, Chargers, Raiders, which we'll have, at home and on the road. And then we've got the Bills at home. That's helpful. Dolphins, who obviously are rebuilding and falling behind. Look at this: Rams, Seahawks, and Jaguars. Those are like three really, really tough games for us. Away, so we have 8 home games and 9 road games. So we got the Cards, trash, and you got the Chiefs. Let's hope that's in like October and not December, because that makes a difference. Then you got Raiders, Chargers. We've got the Pats on the road. It'd be nice to play the Patriots with Bo Nix. That's going to be like, I guarantee you that's going to be like the Monday Night Football game or something if, both teams are still doing well and they're both healthy. Jets, 49ers, Panthers, Steelers. There are 10 games here against playoff teams from 2025. So you have to count the 2 against the Chargers. But then, it's 10 games against playoff teams. So there won't be any talk about the Broncos playing an easy schedule this year. And the whole point of that, I suppose, is when I said, look, with this schedule, with the additions, I know the team's going to be better than it was last year. We could still have less wins. 14-3 is that's an amazing season. It's not very often you see that. But I also thought, you know what? If this team goes like 12-5, that'll be an amazing season. And that'll probably still win the AFC. Like, I don't see the Chargers, Chiefs, or Raiders winning more than 11 games. It's possible. The Chargers, we don't really know what to expect from the Chargers yet, but 12 games could do it. And that doesn't mean don't set your bar like at 14 wins is what I'm saying. All right. Try and keep that, in perspective. Right. But latest power rankings right here. This is Ralph Acciano. He puts together a pretty good one. He's got the Broncos second, post free agency or where we're at for free agency. This is the newest one I could find. This kind of supports my thoughts on Twitter earlier too, that the Broncos are the class of the AFC. I mean, they're the first AFC team on this list. Bills, you can argue, are a good team, but they got a coaching change. They've lost some players. I don't know. Patriots, I think, are too high. And now you don't really know what to expect here, but there's also another coaching change. I would worry more about the Jags than any of these teams. The Jaguars, would they lose? ETN. Have to see who else they lost. I didn't want to deep dive too much into this on a Saturday night, but it's worth talking about. I like where the Broncos sit there. I'm surprised they've got them against above Seattle. With Seattle, what'd they lose? Like Walker, and I don't know who else they lost. But I think my guess is we have to, I guess I'd have to check if this is post Waddle, but I think it is. Waddle's a huge difference, for this team. T Fishes, oh no, I have a face for radio. Smitty from the Fantasy Football Show does phone call-ins on his YouTube lives. I wonder how he does that. Maybe I have to look into that. That would be fun. Probably only do it like on these kind of free form weekend shows where I just come in and just kind of interact with everybody, see where everybody's head is. Curious to see what everybody's thoughts is. You could talk about these old guys. I was curious today. I was thinking about like the amount of like the type of free agent moves the Broncos could make at this point with where their roster is, certainly their starting roster. You're going to be looking at second and third tier, but there's a couple people with like some good fit, and these three names, you got Wagner, Campbell, and Jordan. Was it Calais Campbell, Cam Jordan with JFM gone? Like that'd be a nice rotational piece. I know those guys are like zooming in on 40 years old, like 37 and 40 years old respectively, something like that. Or maybe backwards, maybe Cam's younger. But and then of course Wagner's probably 3 years past his prime, but he'd be a good depth piece. With Greenlaw being gone and Singleton and Sternad there, we really don't have a veteran backup in that room. And then of course the one I'd want to talk about would be running backs. With JK as the starter and his injury history, you would think the Broncos learned their lesson from last year and that they're going to have an appropriate backup for JK just in case he goes down. Now, I think the names in the draft that the Colemans, the Washingtons, those guys are pretty clear. Pierce, maybe. Those targets are pretty clear, and depending on who you talk to, some of those guys or several of those guys could be available at 62. And like Coleman, I've heard could go in the third round. I know we don't have a third round pick, but we could certainly get back into the third round. We could pick second. A-Rod could be there, or Hill or something. We could go linebacker. We could go offensive line, which Zach Seegers was kind enough to point out we haven't really addressed in years. So there's a lot of options there. But if we did something in the second besides running back, then we could use those 2/4 to get into the third and get a running back there. And if it's Coleman, and I know he's only like 5'9", so again, another short running back, but he's like 220. So he's not like no one would ever consider him being a small running back. He's a downhill runner. And I think he fit this team perfectly. And if something, God forbid, happened to JK, he could come in and get you a 3rd and 2 and pound the hell out of a linebacker instead of getting stopped dead in his tracks. Big E, what is up, brother? You're not late. What, I've been on for 24 minutes? All right, you're late. Where the hell you been? I'm doing good tonight, man. I feel good. I feel like all of Broncos country should be feeling pretty good right now. It's just, we look at, for a while when free agency starts, we look at like what teams are doing. Like, oh man, look at them. They're signing people. And then you kind of like catch your breath and you look back and like the Raiders, right? You just look at like where they signed and what they did. And oh my God, they spent a ton of money and maybe got marginally better. It's kind of nice to have your whole team back, and then just add a few pieces. And this isn't anything new from me. From me, you guys know that. Like I was never one that said we need to go out and go crazy on making picks. Like I made it. It was kind of like the 2015 draft, which or the 2015 Super Bowl. We were right on the edge, and then all of a sudden we went out and got Ward, and now of course I'm going to draw a blank, but we signed 4 guys. Where our cornerback, our muscle cornerback, whatever his name is, the breaker of chains. You know what I'm talking about. Like just a few moves, like 3 moves. And it's not over yet. Like it could still happen. So we could see that happen tonight. Biggie says like to wait till after the draft to bring any more free agents. Probably, well, they're definitely going to bring in players after the draft. And you're right. There's like, I don't know of anybody that's out there right now other than like maybe the guys on the defensive side of the ball that I was talking about. Might be nice to just have, sign them to a vet minimum, bring them in non-guaranteed, and then just have them sit there. In case the draft doesn't fall your way, then, those guys aren't all gone. Because I do think the Broncos need a body on the front 7 there, just to kind of shore things up with JFM leaving. But I mean, overall, I agree with you. Let's see what we got. We got 7 picks in the draft. Now they're not the best, but we've got picks. 3 of them are like in the 7th round. So, and the more I break down these running backs, I like the kid from Penn State. Is that Singleton? Maybe. And kick return and Coleman more, I think, and more. I think Washington runs too straight up and down. Yeah, maybe I don't spend a lot of time reviewing these guys too much. I know that I like them. I like all 3 of those. Honestly, I'd be happy if they liked them enough to bring them in. I think it's time. I wonder what size is Washington. Like I think Singleton and Coleman fit really well. Washington's got some speed, right? But it might be a little too straight up and down too. Yeah, I kind of feel you there. So defensive line, let me get back to that real quick. Like see who's out there. Okay, so like I said, Cam Jordan, he is 37, but he's from the Saints. I think Sean would probably hire him if he could, if the price was right. Jadeveon Clowney's out there, but I don't think he does us any good. Hassan Reddick, he's more of a pass rush guy, though. I think situational pass rusher is not what we're looking for here. But Calais Campbell, I know that he's 39, but didn't he have I don't know. Didn't he have a great year last year? I don't know. He's a good run stopper, though. I just bring him in, DJ Reader, whoever. I just bring somebody in and then, see how the draft goes, see how camp goes. If we need the guy, he can be there. So Wazirike and Malcolm Roach and Robinson. And then what's the other guy? Let me look him up because I'm missing him. It's like S something Jones, Savion Jones. Like we got to get a look at those guys and see where they're at, see how they do in camp before we get too crazy. But I mean, I can't really find any holes in the roster right now. I'm not saying we couldn't have done better in some spots. You guys watch the show. You know what I'm talking about. Like we could have made some better moves. But honestly, there's no starting positions open right now on the roster. It's a pretty good place to be. Let's see. I think they're just going to roll the remaining cap to 2027. So yeah, maybe, but I do wonder if there's still okay. So let's say let's say Brees Hall decides he's not going to sign his franchise tag, or he says, okay, I'll sign a contract, but I want to get the hell out of here in the Jets. Now, if something like that were to happen, the Broncos could actually afford him and they could get rid of that second and maybe, something else from next year or whatever, like just go all in. So I think it's up in the air. Like if they're going to definitely roll it over, they actually having a little bit of cap space where if there's something opportunistic, and there will be, there always is, that they could afford to do something. But I mean, looking at this, the starting lineup for the Broncos, I just don't see where the starting slot is. Like somebody for Malcolm Roach, maybe, but those are rotational. I know that Singleton was not everybody's favorite rehire, but like who's out there that's going to take Singleton's job? It would still have to be a trade. I think running back is a position we probably pick up towards the end, after the draft, after camp or late in camp, when the cuts start coming. There'll be some guys that, they'll teams will go in a different direction or go with somebody younger. I think that's always a possibility. Black Labby. I think it's the first time I've seen your name in here, Black Labby. Welcome to the show, buddy. Says, hello, are you worried about last season being a tie for the record of 1-score wins? No, I'm not worried about that, but I do realize that it's not really sustainable. That's putting way too much pressure on Bo Nix, in my opinion. I think that Bo had to win a lot of games on his own last year. The team needs to be a little more balanced. And also the defense tends to, fall apart sometimes, especially late in the season. 1-score wins it's good because your team gets really tough and they don't feel the pressure. And then since you brought everybody back, they know how to win these games. So it's okay to do that. Chiefs did it once and won the Super Bowl. It's not like 1-score wins is kind of I don't know if it's a newer stat or whatever, but it's not exactly like the end all beat all that tells the story. One team was able to win them, one wasn't. And the way that we won them, it wasn't like Tim Tebow pulling out some weird miracle, but some of them were, really impressive from Bo. Don't forget, like I've said this before, the only game last year that Bo didn't get a chance to win was that Jaguars game. And then of course, playoffs game against the Pats. But in the season, when in every single time that the Broncos were behind or needed to score to tie, to take it to overtime or what have you, every time he did it. It wasn't his fault that, like the San Diego game, for example, it's a 1-score game and we lost. But don't forget, Bo Nix went in and got the ball and did what he had to do, carried the team on his shoulders, went down there and got the score. And then Herbert got away with in 30 seconds, went down there and won the game. So it's kind of sucked. That one's on the defense, but so I don't really worry about it in that sense. But I'd worry about it if that was their plan, to win that way. Please don't do that to me. I can't take it. I can't take that kind of heart-wrenching type wins. It gets a little crazy. Jackson, are the Broncos waiting to sign any more free agents until it won't affect our comp picks. Do you know what date that happens? I don't, but the free agents they sign like now, most of them really won't affect comp picks because it's the level of, it's kind of the level of player that they are. Like I'm not sure exactly how that formula works, but yeah, those comp picks probably are going to get traded. Those are 2027 comp picks, by the way. Wouldn't be surprised if George and Sean trade those this year in the draft to gain more picks. Like I said, they only have 7. So I could see that happening. Calais Campbell is still a very good at D tackle. Ron, did he get 10 sacks last year, or was that Cam Jordan? I want to say it was Calais Campbell, but I can't remember which one it was. It could be Cam Jordan, but one of these two old boys had like 10.5 sacks last year, and he's just still sitting out there. Like, for a defensive end, or defensive tackle, those are amazing numbers. Like, we could really use a player like that. Like, our run defense is not the best in the league, right? So, yeah, great comment. I agree with you, Ron. Washington is 6'2", 240. Holy S. He ran a 3.34. You mean a 4.3? I think you probably mean a 4.340. I'm assuming. Yeah, I know he's super fast. I did not know he was 240 pounds. I can't believe that. I think you're just messing with me, bro. Is he really? Wow. Then I take back everything I said. Sign him. Well, I've been saying sign him anyway, but yeah, that's the kind of back we need, right? Like, love RJ. We all love RJ. He's a hell of a playmaker. He's fun to watch. And Waddle is going to open up more stuff for both he and Ingram, because now they can't just, play it close, because nobody's going to go deep on him except for maybe Mims, Franklin earlier. But they just single those guys. Like, they're going to have to double. I think they're really going to have to double Jalen Waddle, don't you think? Ron says, what I really want is Caleb Banks. I've heard that name several times on this show. I don't think you're alone there. Black Lab's not a Broncos fan, but I like going into the fan live streams, reading the general fan vibe. Bronco fans seem pretty enthusiastic about the future. Yeah, I think everybody is this year. Black Labby coming in. Thank you so much. Now, you should have been here a couple weeks ago when we weren't doing anything in free agency. You probably would have seen the fans going a little different. But, I mean, you get to the AFC Championship game, your first seed in the AFC. It's been a long time, 10 years waiting. Like, the Broncos have been kind of wallowing in nothingness since we won the Super Bowl in 2015. So, yeah, these are the good times. And it's always the good times, like, for like the Chiefs, even in the Chargers, once you've got your franchise quarterback, every year you can have hope. Like, you can get your hope, which is where we're at. Like, we love Bo here. We got to build around him. Future's bright. Obviously with the way last year went, and the general feeling too is the way that AFC Championship game went down last year, losing 10-7. With a backup quarterback and a backup running back and a backup, like throwing to our practice squad wide receivers and missing the Super Bowl by 3 points. We're not what ifs, but our copium is like, my gosh, man, if just Bo would have played that game, he would have found a way to win that one. We would at least gone to a Super Bowl and probably lost to Seattle. But still, it's a great time to be a Broncos fan. And we love everybody as long as they're, polite. Jets fan live streams are more like venting therapy. Yeah, but that's their personality, right? It's like Boston. It's like, hey, these guys, they suck. What are you going to do with these effing guys? Jets fans are kind of like that. They're just, and honestly, we're in two different places with the Jets. Are you a Jets fan? If you are, yeah, give us your thoughts on bringing Geno back home. What do you think about that? Big E, I think Coleman is the best pass blocking and running between the tackles. I've heard that as well. I think that's kind of why I had him. Well, two reasons. Big E, I had him at the top because one, I think he'll be there, and two, because of that, the running between the tackles and his ability to pass block, and that's going to be huge on this team. Like Sean doesn't suffer fools in that game, and he doesn't suffer fools in a lot of. We're always sitting around, kind of trying to figure out why isn't so and so getting more snaps, or why this, why that. It's usually some little thing like that. Coleman could come in and do a great job running between the tackles, and he could be averaging 4.5 yards a carry, and then we'd all be sitting there going, "But why is he only in there, 6 plays a game?" It could be something as simple as pass blocking. It could be because he's got rocks for hands and can't catch the ball, which makes it into a tell. So like Jaleel McLaughlin last year, I had Zach Seegers from Let's Talk Broncos, who you all know. Today he looked up, he did some splits, and I had him do one on Jaleel McLaughlin, and it was like run versus when he's in, like it was such a 60-40, 60-30 tell or something. It was like so obvious what they were going to do when he was in there that he almost becomes useless. But he did average over 5 yards a carry. So Jaleel, welcome back to the team. We'll see how that ends up. So Washington would be a good third down sledgehammer. Ron, the team needs a guy that can pick up a 3rd and 2, so we don't have to throw another damn screen pass. Also, by the way, if you're over midfield, and it's 3rd and 2, and if you've got a sledgehammer, you can just run it twice. Like run it the first time. If you pick up a yard, you're going to run it again on 4th down. You're going to pick up first downs. It's like having your own little tush push, which the Broncos never really use. Big E, yeah, but from watching the tape, you can see people running Washington down from behind. Shouldn't be able to do that, not with that speed he put up the combine. I mean, game speed and combine speed are two different things. That's why I'm not a big combine guy. Like Jalen Waddle's a fast player, but he's also super fast with his pads on. So, and I'll take your word for it. I don't know, I haven't watched his tape other than highlights, like to, watch some tape. Runs too straight up and down. I've seen some backs really good at that, but they shouldn't be doing that at the line of scrimmage. He doesn't have power behind his pads, and he's learned how to run lower to the ground. So we're still talking about Washington, right? Turtle says, "Good evening." What's up, Turtle? Good to see you again. It's up to the coaches to ensure it doesn't have to be on Nick's shoulders. Agree, not sustainable. It is. Yeah, we just don't want to get into that. A, we don't want Bo to get hurt trying to play Superman. And B, it's like everything falls back to the mean eventually. Like you do that and it swings this way, injuries or, 1-score wins or whatever. Interceptions is another one. Like last year we didn't have turnovers. Like you that'll eventually swing back. You want to keep it kind of like that stuff kind of average in the middle. Like they say that 1-score games, the average is like 500. Like you're going to win like half of those. And the Broncos went like 800 in those games. They still would have been a playoff team. So, but yeah, you don't want to like live on that kind of stuff. Third down backs aren't burners. Well, it depends on where you're at in the game, but I get what you're saying. Sometimes third down backs are, pass pro and then they leak out. You could have RJ in there and have him chip somebody and then go out, catch a 3-yard pass and take it for 15 yards. But I said the other day that P. Ryan, I don't know where he's at, but man, if you can pick up 4 yards a carry, the Broncos could use you, certainly if JK goes down. So totally on board with that. Derrick Henry had the same problem when he came into the NFL. He ran too straight up and down, and running back coach for Tennessee worked with him and got him where he can run behind the pads. Yeah, that's definitely one of those coachable things for sure. You rarely hear about, he runs too upright being a huge knock against a wide receiver or a running back. But if you do, it's not that long because they tend to get their heads knocked off a few times. They got to get low. They got to get small. You've heard that, like get small. When you're going through the hole, get small. Standing up in the NFL is you're gonna get the crap knocked out of you. Ron did some work for me. Thank you, Jordan. 10. Callis was 8 or 9. I mean, both of those guys can still play. And then, of course, Big E says Von Miller had 9. Did he have 9 last year? But see, he's a different position. Like, we're not looking for a pass rusher. At this point, with the guys we have. So Cooper Tillman, and then where the hell is Benito? Oh no, that was Benito Tillman, and then Cooper Ellis, and then don't forget you got Q Robinson sitting there, who's shown some nice stuff. So I don't know how many pass rushing outside linebackers they're going to call. They're going to bring up. But yeah, I mean, I've been told that's not happening, but never say never. If the roster's filled out, it's late in the year, you're solid on everything else. You need somebody, you could throw them on there. I'd be happy with that. DSW12, haven't seen this guy in a while. How you doing, brother? I believe they should extend Marvin Mims Jr. ASAP. I think if they're hoping to sign him, the sooner the better. You probably don't want to get in some sort of crazy bidding war for Marvin Mims. I hope they keep him. I mean, he's our all-pro kick return, punt returner for sure. And those of you guys that watched the other night, you heard me say this, like once a month, Marvin Mims made an amazing play to win a game for us. Like he's got that clutch gene. And then another year, maybe he's got his route trees down and his choice routes, all the stuff that these guys have to do to play for Sean Payton, and presumably Davis Webb. So, it's tough because, we'd have to get into contract stuff. So this year we actually got Waddle's only like a $5 million cap hit, which is incredible. Next year they're 1-2 with Court and Waddle. That total contract stuff is probably close to $60 million. Good chunk of money, but that's still not that high for a wide receiver group like that. I think this might be, hot take. I don't know. I think this could be Court's last year, at least at his current contract. We'll see where that goes. But the draft, I think, is where I think we'll pick up I just want to get back to running backs for a second. I think we'll get back. I think we'll pick up a veteran running back, someone comparable to JK's size, 5'10", 215, 220, somewhere in there. I would have liked to have gotten someone early in free agency for that, and still brought JK back, but we didn't do that. We tried to get ETN. We tried to get Breece Hall. So the Broncos were definitely looking. They just couldn't make it happen. And then the franchise tag, Breece Hall. I mean, that's immediately off the table. That's 2 first-round picks. We're not doing that for Breece Hall. But that still leaves the draft to like a running back in the draft at 62. Might be somebody really good there at 62. That would be interesting. And if not, what do we got? We've got round 4, number 108, and then 111. So essentially high third rounders. You could move up quite far if your target is there. So, and they've got that 5th, and then of course, practically what do you got? Round 7, 246, 256, and 257. For those of you that don't know, there's only 257 picks in the draft. So that's Mr. Irrelevant, and then the pick before Mr. Irrelevant, and then 246. So those picks will be used on pet projects, pet quarterback project, or just some guy that you don't want, that you're looking at, as a undrafted free agent, that you just don't want to hit the market, so you just draft them. That's what those picks will be for. Or again, for pick swaps, to move up and make something happen. So there's a lot to be done, even with a full roster, which I think we have. If you guys, I still haven't heard anybody throw up a position that is open to be taken by somebody they bring in. It's a good thing. I think we all agree on our draft needs, like running back, tight end, linebacker. Offensive line's a sneaky one. Like, we haven't done anything with the offensive line in so long that bill's going to come to pay. Or it's just, last time we took an offensive tackle, like a first round talent for sure, was 2017. In fact, I think it might be the only one we've taken was in 2017. Like, we haven't taken a tackle since then. We keep going outside for that position, and that can be pretty pricey. So, so did I answer that for you though, DSW? I guess I'm kind of maybe yes and no. I want to keep him, but at what cost? I mean, he's the number 4 receiver, arguably number 5 receiver now. So it's gonna be tough for him. I do think the class is not like everybody's talking about, how this draft class isn't like the deepest or the most exciting, that 2027 is a better draft class. But there are some good positions, and tight end's one of them. And we know that the Broncos have been, that 3-year deal to Troutman, don't get me started, but like, tight end could be a draft pick for us. I think that it wouldn't shock me at all if the Broncos come out of the draft with a tight end. And if somebody falls to that second rounder, like Stowers or somebody, I could see that happening. But I do think that's putting a lot of faith in J.K. Dobbins to stay healthy. So, we'll see how that goes. Defensive line and linebacker are really strong in this draft too. Like, how upset would you be with Jacob Rodriguez at 62? I wouldn't be upset at all at that. So, what else do I have for you guys? I think I bookmarked something I was going to talk to you guys about. We talked about Coleman. I mean, this Jeremiah Love guy is like, running back 1, superstar, guaranteed, whatever. I don't believe in any of that stuff. Not that I have anything against Jeremiah Love, just that I don't believe in, like, can't miss prospects. There's very few of them. I mean, he's kind of like a Bijan Robinson, Jamar Gibbs guy, I guess. But I think just Coleman, with the availability and day 2 pick maybe sometimes. He's more of an Algier type, or I don't know, Rashad White. He's just like a inline 228 pounds, like bowling ball type guy. I think that could work out really well for the Broncos there. So, all right. Let's do bookmarks. Let me see what I bookmarked for you guys. Do I get that running up there? Yeah. Let's just see what we got for bookmark. What did I bookmark this week? All right, this was interesting. Saw this. So I guess you guys remember when when the Broncos did their initial or their like introductory photo on the website or on Twitter where they're like, here's Jalen Waddle, yay, and he's holding up the number 17 jersey. And we'd all been talking about like, is Humphrey going to give him? Is he going to have to buy that jersey? You know what? I wonder what jersey number he'll get. And then they come right out the gates with him holding, number 17. It was like, well, that didn't take long. Like either little Jordan Humphrey is just a cool dude, or the team was like, yeah, sorry, dude, you're on the bubble. 17 belongs to Waddle. And so what was interesting also was that little Jordan Humphrey switched to number 5. Now, wasn't RJ number 5? What was RJ, or was he 7? I can't remember. But he was like a single digit guy for a while too. I thought 5 would look really good on RJ, but he didn't jump on that fast enough. So looks like Jordan Humphrey will take 5. The flag football thing where Coach Payton, looks like they got their ass kicked. 0-2, 43-16 loss to Team USA, and a 34-26 loss to the Wildcats. So if those of you that don't know, Coach was coaching up the flag football, whatever, that everybody was all excited about. So I thought that was interesting that they got humiliated by a bunch of dudes that should be, also D-Mac said that by guys that should be asking for their autographs or something like that. Like apparently flag football is a different sport. A bunch of light guys with speed and quickness. They don't have to have any strength or ability to take a hit. And then instead of wrapping people up, you're trying to reach for flags, and they did the stupid little spin thing to get past you. It's got to be frustrating. So talked about Tyson Anderson. I don't have a whole lot of thoughts on that. Like I don't know how much. I know he played a little bit of linebacker, but I don't think he played a lot. Probably not a big deal. Nice special teams signing though. And honestly, if they teach him enough, with PJ Locke being gone in a pinch, maybe he'll do all right at safety. Did I call him a linebacker or safety? I hope I didn't call him a linebacker, but still a good signing from the Bengals. But that's our only outside. It's only our outside signing. There was so I talked about this O-line stuff. Since 2022, draft capital used for the O-line, Broncos are dead last, and it's dead last by a lot. Like it's been 4 years since they've done anything really in the draft for the offensive line. It's just it's great that we have the continuity. Like I'm happy about that. I think it's perfect. Like I wasn't planning on them bringing anybody in to play this year. Like we've got the guys and pretty good depth there too. Honestly, they brought some people back, although I think Forsythe is still working his ankle back. But with Ben Powers back and Palczewski's there, one of those two will be starting, one of those two will be backing up. I'm assuming they'll start with Powers. It's good to have him back. And I think Throckmorton's back and these other guys. So it's not like it's an immediate worry, but they need to start like looking to the future a little bit there. I talked about this the other day though. Wanted to point out if you've got somebody who's asking about Tyreek Hill, David on David Talks Broncos, always talking about Stephon Diggs. Like I'm against that. Leave that in the comment or the chat. What you guys think about bringing in guys like that? I don't want them, but I did want to say this about Waddle. Like whenever we sign somebody, or even sometimes even when one of our players goes somewhere else, sometimes I like to go to see the tweet that announces it. And then like just watch the comments, and those comments can tell you a lot about what like the fans thought about that player. And when I read the comments from when the Miami Dolphins announced that Waddle had been traded, you went into the comments and it was basically heartbreak. Like, no, not this guy. Or I understand why you did it, but man, we're gonna miss him. Like he was a fan favorite. He was a teammate favorite. I think he's gonna fit right in. I think we're all gonna love him. And he's got all the talent that we want. And when there's guys like that out there, selling your soul for a Tyreek Hill or something like that, just doesn't make a lot of sense right now. I flagged this one from Andrew Mason at Mace Denver, just like postulating, or is running back now a draft must? And will Jadarian Price or Jonah Coleman be the answer? Is it a must? I don't know if it's a must, but I think it's where I'd like to see them go. Either one of those two would work for me. Probably over Washington, although the 240 pounds that somebody put up there earlier in the chat, running a 4.340 sounds kind of unstoppable to me. So maybe there's 3 running backs. Although last year, guys, don't forget, we picked at 20 and we were all screaming for Omarion Hampton, Judkins, Trevion. And then we took Jahdae Barron. So I never know what these guys are going to do in the draft, but I know what I wish they would do. It'd be nice if they would just listen to us professionals, us in the chat, draft who we want, and then we'd be right. How good would Omarion Hampton have been in the AFC Championship game in the snow when we needed a big kind of bruising running back to just kind of pound out 4 yards once in a while? So it's my thoughts on that. Looks like I got through all my bookmarks for you guys. Not a lot of activity in the chat tonight, so looks like it's Saturday night. We're not going to set a new record tonight. Like I said, I normally stick around until we get everybody covered. But in this case, it looks like we'll just have to, just kind of sit back and just be happy for Kay and Sean. Congratulations to you two. I hope everything works out for you. You guys sure look happy. You look great together. The way he looks at her, the way she looks at him, I think it's sweet. Gosh, those two, you two young kids, just go out there and make it happen. Well, actually, Sean's married, so I'm absolutely kidding. It was Travion Henderson. That's what it was. Harold Fannin Jr. Oh, he was, wasn't he a tight end? Wasn't Harold Fannin Jr. tight end? Yeah, Travion Henderson, whatever Judkins' name was, Omarion Hampton, I think were the 3 running back. I wanted a running back. We did take RJ Harvey at what, 61 or something like that. So I know we took a running back, and I love the pick and I love the player, but that doesn't mean we have. I think most teams need 2 different types of running backs. And last year with Jaleel and Bidet and RJ, we had 3 5'8", 200-pound running backs, and we had 1 5'10", 227 running back, and nobody to back him up. And I think that was the problem there. So, yeah, Fannin was the most productive tight end in college. He had the most yak. Okay, where did Fannin go, and how did he do last year in the NFL? That's one thing that's always fun to do too. And these guys that I scream about, I can't wait to see this guy in a Broncos uniform, and then of course they get in the NFL and I never hear about them again. I forget about them. The worst ones are the ones you went to the Browns and replaced Njoku. There you go. So that was a pick. Thanks, T Fishes. In fact, let me make sure you get your props there. Also, it's always great to see you in here, dude. Really appreciate your takes all the time, and doing my handiwork. Like I can't do it all on my own. So I always appreciate you, and I always appreciate the fact that when you put something up on the screen, I can count on it being real. What was I getting at? Oh, um, the players that I guess the players that I always wish for are one thing, like before the draft. But where I see people get crazy and then I don't. This is the one time I don't get crazy. It's like camp heroes. Like there's always a few camp heroes that everybody gets real high on, and they'll put them in the Hall of Fame. Like don't fall for that, and don't fall for the 7th round pick of like last year with Loner. I mean, that was one of the funniest ones I saw. Was Loner was like our last pick or something, and he's like this 6'7" or 6'8" basketball player, and everybody just went gaga over him. And it's like, man, do you even know who his coach is? Like that guy's not getting on the field, man. There's just no way. Bailey was a camp hero, and we traded him. Bailey was he was on the team for a year, right? And then got traded in his second year, or did I get that wrong? Like I felt like Vele played a season. So there's a difference. Like the camp hero, he was making plays everywhere. But yeah, and then we traded him. But we got a 4th for him. So yeah, what are you gonna do? He was like, did we even draft him? Was he like a 6th or a 7th? Yeah, you couldn't take that back. And then now he was he did not play well. Was it the Saints that he went? I can't remember. Don't test my mind. Don't test my memory. There might be something in this besides just water. I'm just saying it's Saturday night. Guys, it's Saturday night, and speaking of that, we've been going for over an hour. I don't want to sit here and waste your time. I talked through everything. If the chat was on fire, I'd stay with you guys, but it looks like everybody's pretty chill tonight. So I'll let you guys off easy. I appreciate everybody coming in. T Fishes, DSW, Big E, Ron, Turtle, of course. Who else we got? Black Labby, maybe a Jets fan. That was cool having you in. Jackson, of course, as always. Who am I missing? Anybody? Shy was here. Bronco fan 1030. He didn't even give me too much of a hard time tonight. A Visionhausen, first time. He was from Twitter. It was good to see him. It was with a funny comment too. David Yunkin, of course. So thanks to everybody that came in. Really appreciate you guys. Well, Dennis isn't going to let me go. Dennis Reisman, I think I know that name. Waddle should be worth 4 points per game. We should average 28 points per game. We averaged what, 24? Yeah. So that math works. Yeah. And we want to get, with our defense, being anywhere in the top 5 in scoring. If we're scoring 28 points a game, then you can put that 14 back up on the board. Wins back on the board. That would be great. And Dennis, yeah, welcome in. I feel like I've seen you before. Maybe it's just been a while. T says he was more productive than Troy. Yes, he was. After training camp, the media said he was wide receiver 2. I think that was Albright that said he was wide receiver 2. Then we traded him to the Saints and was non-existent with the Saints. Yeah, I mean, honestly, though, fit, coaching, offense. That's the thing about the NFL that a lot of us forget. Like, all these guys can play. Like, they're all great world-class athletes. They can all play football. But if you go to the wrong team with the wrong coach and the wrong offensive scheme, and they're not playing to your strength or whatever, it can ruin your career. It's like, some Sometimes guys will make it long enough to move, like Sam Darnold or somebody like that, or some wide receivers. Even some running backs have done that, where they have done okay somewhere else, and then they move and then they take off, or vice versa. They're on fire here, they get a big contract and they go somewhere else and then they don't play well. A lot of that isn't just because their talent fell off or they forgot how to play football. It's because you got to be in the right place. I like Vele. I like Troy Bryant a lot, or Pat Bryant. I think Pat Bryant, out of the Franklin, Mims, Bryant trio, if he's healthy, I think we might see him on the field more than any of those guys. Guy catches everything. He's a great route runner. Like, he makes the easy catches and the hard catches. It's just those dang concussions, man. If he can't stay healthy, this will be his last year on Sean Payton's team. That's just the way it is. Yeah, T. Fishes agrees. 28 points per game. We're going to the Super Bowl, man. That's just the deal. Like, you top 5 offense, top 5 defense. Come on, we're winning the AFC West for sure. We're winning the AFC for sure. Going to the Super Bowl for sure. And I still say right now, I think the NFC has the better conference right now. But yeah, if we're scoring 28 points a game, yeah, we'd have a good chance. Getting to the Super Bowl and possibly winning it, depending on what we got there. Yep, agree with that. Totally. Cornbread Amos. We screw these names up with these cool names. Cornbread Amos. Facts. I'm assuming you're talking about the chat because, you guys got to fact check me all the time. If Bo attacks the middle of the field accurately, we'll have top 10 offense. Well, we had a number 10 offense in yards this year. So I think we're definitely going to do that. That's something to watch out for because Bo favors the boundary, Waddle's the middle of the field, deep. So this is going to this is like a Davis Webb thing too, right? And a Waddle and an Ingram. So those 3 players, if they're doing what I think they're going to do, with these clearing routes and the respect that the players are going to have for them, we should be able to attack the middle of the field. They need to work a lot on that. Bo needs to work on his accuracy there. But we just weren't targeting it, at least not in that, when you consider like middle of the field being like 8-yard route out to like maybe a 12-yard route. Like those digs, like the dig route that Cord will run where he'll run out and then he'll come across a dig at like, 14, 15 yards. That's technically middle of the field, but that's not what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. Waddle's great there. He's also great sitting down in the zone and finding an opening in the zone and then taking off. So yeah, we're going to have to, definitely going to have to attack the middle of the field more. 2 Trees X Alpha Sutton Bryant Little J Z Slot Mims Waddle. Well, Sutton is an X and Bryant is an X, and then yeah, that's kind of true. I wonder, like, a big Y out of that. Yeah, we kind of have those covered. So, but you're still going to have Sutton as the X. You're going to have Waddle as your Z. And then if Franklin or Mims or, Bryant's on the other side or somewhere else, it's going to be big Y. It's going to be slot. It's going to be, whatever. I guess that terminology. We'll have to see what, Davis Webb and Sean come up with, labels like that. Just score me some touchdown. Cornbread, a must. Roman cord. Oh, like cornbread, a must. I love that. Like I can see you like with the little, spear and stuff. Bredimus, bring him to me. Dennis, I don't see us throwing any less than last year, and Bo passed a lot. Bo passed more than anybody else in the league last year. That's funny, man. Dude, I'm so glad you were on here tonight. Well, I mean, I'd like him to throw a little bit less than 600 times, if I'm being honest with you. I don't know if I see that happening, but it would behoove them to be a little more balanced with the run versus pass game, because nobody threw more or as much as Bo did last year. Hard to argue with the results, though, right, guys? Like AFC Championship game. So, who am I to complain? They can throw it 800 times if we win a Super Bowl. I'm hoping for that Bo throws for at least 4,300 yards, and we have a 1,000-yard rusher. Yeah, that's a formula to win. I'm actually kind of going 4,500 yards or above this year, and I usually don't get that aggressive, but I think he goes for 45, and especially if we do have a 1,000-yard rusher. I'd like to see like 1,200 yards rushing, 4,500 yards passing out of those guys, and yeah, very doable. Last year, Court had the most receiving yards of anyone in the AFC West with, was it 1,017? And then Jalen Waddle's 910 yards would have been second in the AFC West. So the two leading receivers, nobody else close. I think the next closest one was like Kelsey or somebody, a tight end. So those numbers wouldn't surprise me at all. Somebody told me the other day we're going to have 3,000-yard receivers, and I don't think you're going to see that, short of Peyton Manning and a couple other players coming out of retirement. But I can see 4,500-yard. Cornbreadimus, what are you looking to close out the team? You mean as far as team building? Yeah, just some depth at running back, inside linebacker, and defensive line. Maybe tight end. Depending on what they do in the draft. So team's sitting pretty good right now. So they don't have any desperate needs going into the draft, which is really cool. I like that. 4,500 is hard in today's NFL with teams going too high and linebackers. So yeah, that's probably true. Passing leaders yards. Let's see. Regular season. So only 3 had 4,500 yards last year. So Matt Stafford with 47, Jared Goff had 45, and Dak Prescott had 45. So Bo Nix had 39, 31. So he's right at 4,000. Yeah. That's just playoffs. He was higher than that, but still, I agree. It is. That's a great comment. Can't deny. It's a great comment. It's hard, but I think they do it. I think they can do it. I agree with that too. Said it the other day. I don't think anybody does. I think the Chargers have McConkey or something like that, who's fine, but I don't think there's anybody like Waddle. Kansas City doesn't have anybody anymore. Jay Weaver, my good buddy and fellow co-host. Good evening, sir. What are your thoughts on some Waddle behind the scenes screens as opposed to Mims next year? Is everything on the table for a new wide receiver one? Yeah, they're going to try it. And actually, Waddle's really good at that kind of stuff. Although Mims is such a great playmaker, Waddle being the deep threat, he is he could run some mesh, he could run a slant, he could run a go or a, you know a stop and go or whatever. Like he could do a lot of that and then set up that screen where he just kind of, you know, gets them back on their heels a little bit. Once he gets the ball, he's small enough because he's only like 5'10". Like I could see that. He's yeah, he's gonna be tough. He has been. I mean, on a crappy Miami team with Tua, who just got like sent down the road that they paid $100 million to get rid of, and then like that Ewers kid, whatever his name was, passing to him for Waddle to still get 900 yards, I think is says a lot about the player. Just imagine what he does on a proper football team. So good to see you, Jay. For me, it's Washington, Acker, Brazzle if we're lucky for offense. All you draft guys, I can't wait to get into the draft with you guys. That's coming. I start probably turning my attention more to the draft here soon, so I don't look like a complete idiot, or more of a complete idiot than I normally do. If half the passes that were dropped were caught, which was league average, Bo would have had 4,200 yards. I always see those, but like, so imagine. So let's say Bo throws a 20-yard pass to Cortland Sutton, and he drops the pass. And then on the next play, he throws a 20-yard pass to Cortland Sutton, and he catches it. It's still 20 yards. It just cuts down on his pass percent. So, like when the drops lead to 3 and outs or punting or whatever, that's when it really, affects like the numbers. So it's not a 1-for-1, but yeah, you can't be the second, worst in drop passing. And that's why they fired everybody on that. That's why they fired everybody over there in the wide receiver coaching room. Can't do it. Do a quick mock draft with us. Man, shut up, T-Fishes. I'm not doing a mock draft with you, bro. Oh my God, I would be the worst at that. I would be the absolute worst at mock draft. I would just sit there and trade everything we had for a running back and be like, and I'm done. And give me my pickbacks just because I want. I would be terrible at that. Dennis Reeson, we had a lot of 3 and outs last year. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like, the offense disappeared a lot last year. Some of that was on Bo. A lot of that was on Sean Payton. A lot of that was because J.K. Dobbins went down and we didn't have a proper running back. So they were stacking the box on us and we didn't have anybody to make them pay for it. So, Grandizer, what's up, buddy? Hi, Mike. How you doing today, my guy? How you feeling? I'm feeling great. As you know, if you'd be on time, you would know that because we covered that earlier. Just messing with you. It's good to see. Let's see what he's got here. With the dust settled, anything more you heard about the Waddle deal per se, recent press conferences? I mean, I watched the press conference. Looked like he's really comfortable. Looked like he's really happy to be here. He looked genuine. He looked comfortable, not cocky. I loved everything about it. Loved everything I saw. You can learn a lot, watching someone when they talk at a press conference or when they do a YouTube show or they come on a show. There's this human instinct. Like you can, if people make you feel uncomfortable or make you something about them, 99% of the time that's because they're just not being genuine and it doesn't feel right. Like it feels like you're being acted to or something poorly. I don't know what it is, but I didn't get any of that from Waddle. I thought he looked comfortable in his skin. The only thing I know, I heard, of course I told you guys I heard about the Waddle trade on, was it the 11th? I saved it. And I think it was like the 16th or something that it was announced. So I did have the trade. I know they were trying to get him. I know they've been wanting to get him. I heard more about the Brees Hall stuff and the ETN stuff lately than I heard about the Waddle deal. I think the Waddle deal was just a long, like negotiation trying to get the price right. I saw some BS the other day about, and from somebody I like, was saying that the Waddle trade was a result of the initial free agency not going the way that the Broncos wanted it to. I can tell you that's not the case. Like the Broncos wanted Waddle all along. Like he was their target. He wasn't some last minute, oh, we couldn't get this guy, so let's go get Waddle. That was if anything, I did hear that, and I believe that. It's nice to hear Waddle isn't trying to be wide receiver one. He cares about what's doing best for the team or the team needs. AJ Brown would be pissed if Sean's system considering both throws to 9 different receivers. That's a good point. Bo does a great job of spreading the ball around. It's like never that odd to hear, towards the end of the first half, one of the stupid announcers say something like, Bo Nix has got 17 receptions to 8 different receivers already in the first half. It's true. He spreads the ball around. He doesn't have a favorite receiver. Oh, I'm sure he does, but I mean, the play design says where the ball's going to go. Your first read, your second read, and maybe if you got time to get to your third read and then go. So some of that's, dictated by the lack of having somebody like Waddle. Like you just have to, if you're not going to have a true wide receiver one. I mean, we've got a 1A and a 1B, and I'd say Waddle's 1A. At least at this point. I've always said, Court is a wide receiver one, but he's not a scary wide receiver one. He's just our wide receiver one. I think Waddle makes him a wide receiver too, but again, those labels don't mean anything to me, and it doesn't seem like it matters to Waddle either, which is great. I doubt it means anything to Court. Knowing what I know of Cortland Sutton, he just wants to win. Yes, Dennis, Mike Ditka, Chicago Bears traded all his picks to New Orleans for Ricky Williams, so you wouldn't be the first to do so by trading the rest of the pick. That's true. Like, just came out and said, well, boys, we're done here. They got Ricky Williams, and about destroyed that team for a lot of years. Like, it's as fun as that sounds. Like, give it all away for the one player. And then do you remember was it Sports Illustrated that the picture of Ricky Williams wearing a wedding dress with Mike Ditka? And then the guy turned out to be a really good running back who smoked a lot of weed and was just as weird as could be. So I think I got the right guy. It's going back a while. Maximus Kornbredimus, Acker fullback tight end, 6'1", 248. Soft hands, like that. Skill crushing blocker, 4'5", 40. Well, I like that. I love all that for a tight end. 6'1", 248. Man, I'm just over 6, 180. So that's so crushing does come to mind there for sure. So we're talking about Waddle, I assume. We overpaid, but we also blocked the Patriots deal with AJ because it drove up AJ's price. George playing chess. Yeah. We'll see if we overpaid. I don't think we did. I think that's what it costs for your wide receiver one. I think what the way I would put that, T-Fish, is we paid a lot for it. Like it was a big price. But I think that was the market. So I don't think we overpaid. Whenever I hear overpaid, it's like, oh no, you could have had him for a second and a fourth, and you gave a 1 and a 3. I don't think that was true, but I don't have that information, so I don't know. Imagine 21, 22, 23 personnel with Akron, Washington in the back with Mims, Waddle on the edges, Sutton in the slot. Yeah, the problem. Yeah, that would solve some problems. Like, I know that we'd like to run more 22, but when Troutman is in, it's like one of our worst EPA per plays and efficiency numbers come in that. So I would be surprised if they don't do something in that tight end room or try to, and that could push Troutman down the list if they were able to get one of these guys that can do both. Like this Acker guy, I'm gonna make a note to ask my guys about him and see what their thoughts are on him. So I got guys that can do that that really just do a great job on the draft, and you guys know who they all are. They're the ones we all go to. Washington drafted Champ Bailey with one of those picks they got from Ditka. No kidding. Wow, that's crazy. And then we drafted a running back and sent him. What was his name? Why am I drawing a blank? It's a great running back. Gosh, I hate when I draw a blank in the middle of a show. But getting Champ turned out to be a big one. I saw Champ play a lot of times at Mile High. And yeah, it was a joy. Yeah, Clinton Portis, thank you. Big E. Can always count on you. You guys are like, why do I even need David? You guys are on all over it. Yeah, Clinton Portis was a weird one too, man. I don't know how old you guys are, but he was one of those like he was just different. Like he had like some style to him, and I wasn't used to that back in that day. Like football players were all kind of reserved and not squares. Like I'll tell you a story. There was a bar north of Lakewood. And it was called, gosh, what was it? It's like a mountain range in like Montana or Wyoming or something like that. That's the name of this bar. Anyways, we used to go to this place and we would play darts up there and pool, and they had Broncos gear all over the wall and signed pictures and everything. Something Jackson's Hole. So this bar was called Jackson's Hole. And we used to go up there all the time. And this was in like the mid to late 80s. And we'd see Broncos guys up there all the time. We'd pretty much leave them alone. We know them sometimes. So one night we were up there, and Elway, a bunch of his linemen were up there, and Elway bumped a smoke off of me. We were playing darts. We ended up playing darts with some of these guys, and they are freaking competitive. Like I was like this, 21-year-old kid, and I'm saying 21 just so that I don't get anybody in trouble. But like you used to be able to hang out with these guys, and they were just dudes. And so like you picture John Elway and these guys as like these huge stars. And they were huge to us, but like they could kind of just walk around freely. Like they could just go to Jackson's Hole and have a few beers and get shit faced and drag John out of there before he passed out. It was a different time. And yeah, anyways, random story. But Clinton Portis, I never met Clinton Portis, but like after meeting so many Broncos in my younger years to when Clinton Portis came along, I was like, wow, this guy's like a little bit weird, a little bit off. Dropped off in the draft because he broke his leg in that bowl game, and we got him for a steal. Is that Clinton? I can't remember that. I don't think the Broncos overpaid at all. One has to think of this draft, unless you are drafting top 12, top 15, you're not getting a wide receiver in that same caliber as Waddle. I don't know if there's any, first of all, we don't, and I agree with that, Grandizer, but first of all, like, I don't agree. Like, I'll take the known commodity anytime over the draft pick. When you're in a window, like you have to draft. No, it wasn't Twin Peaks. It was Jackson's Hole. Unless they change their name afterwards. But yeah, when the window's open, like what could that pick at 20 be? It could be Jahdae Barron, who's maybe a great player someday, but he's doing nothing for this team right now. So you take Waddle and you give up the pick. The Rams have done it like all but 1 year, and they're always competitive. Like they don't use their first round pick; they just trade it and get a great player. If you're building to build an all-star Bronco team, all players across the board, I need to get a backup as well. Who will be your very first pick if you're going to build the all-star Bronco team? Like from all years? Is that what you mean? Well, yeah, you'd have like Peyton and then Elway or Elway and Peyton. I don't know. I'm not sure I'm reading that right. Oh, who'd be your very first pick? Yeah, see, I'm still not sure what you're asking. If like you're talking about like historical like Broncos, who would be my first pick? The Slaughtered Lamb, that was the name of the bar. No, it wasn't. It was Jackson's Hole, man. I'm telling you, that's how old I am. It just took me a while to remember it. I don't remember the Slaughtered Lamb. Where was that? I'm still thinking that Jackson's Hole was up by like Colfax or something, or Wadsworth. I don't know. Maybe Kipling and Sixth or something. I don't know. I haven't been up in that area so long. My dad, 6'3" Samoan, met TD and Portis at a charity event and acted like a teenage girl. Yeah, I've done that a couple times, but then after a while you get used to it. But yeah, like the first time, first of all, I was really amazed at the size of some of these people. Was like, whoa. But I guess the one thing about that particular place was it wasn't uncommon at the time to see them like hanging out there. But once somebody bums the smoke off you, then it's like, all right, well, that's just a dude. And then you get used to it. But yeah, I'm trying to think of who I really lost like my composure with. I don't know. My wife probably, like, act like an idiot. Is Jalen Waddle was in this draft. He would go the very first wide receiver off the board. It's not close. Probably, yeah. I mean, he went 6th overall when he was drafted before. So that's cool. That's from American Werewolf in London. The movie or the song? Oh, it was the Werewolves of London was the song. The Slaughtered Lamb. Is that what it? I don't know which reference that is. I haven't seen American Werewolf in London in so long. But that's hilarious. You guys are hilarious. Well, I said I was going to leave like a half hour ago. And you guys, as always, don't let me go. So I need a drink. You guys are the best. I can't believe how cool you guys are. And I can't believe how fast this station has been growing. Was the fastest growing Broncos show in last year until Cam Parker from what's the name of this show? Anyways, mainly Broncos. The mainly Jackson's Hole, yep. Mainly Broncos. Like he's on MHRT Network, which is fantastic. A lot of great shows over there. Well, then he decided he wanted to have like his own channel too, not just with MHRT. And then he went from like whatever subscribers to 11. So he gained 11 subscribers since this January, but it was like a 40% increase. And so I'm now the second fastest growing. I'm at 30%, but I've been doing this a little bit longer than that. So I'm like, we're like 2,300 subs last I looked. So that's thanks to you guys. So it's unbelievable. Love it. Yeah. You guys are cracking me up. Yeah. Jackson's Hole, the Slaughtered Lamb must have been the other bar down that same street. Really? Are you guys messing with me? You guys are funny. Like I literally think I would have heard of that. I'm trying to think of like bars. Like, is anybody here from Boulder? So I was in Boulder, and then in Littleton or Lakewood. So there's Jackson's Hole. There was this real crap hole called the Pig and Whistle that was downtown for a long time that my mom dragged me to. For some reason she loved. And then in Boulder, there was a place called Pogo's, and then there was like the Blue Note. And of course, all these places are gone. At least I'm assuming they are. So this is going way back. It's funny. I think probably the people I'm talking to, like very few of you even remember that era. But yeah, there was oh gosh, there was this one huge place that was like there were so many cool bars in Boulder at the time. It was kind of live music time too, and then there was you could go see bands all the time. So it was a good music scene there for quite a while. Boulder was a great town to be that. Shotgun Willie's, yeah. You can ask some of our former players about Shotgun Willie's, and I had D-Mac on from Altitude Radio, and he told a story about former Bronco player and Shotgun Willie's, and let's just say he picked up a lady and got in a little trouble that night by going to Shotgun Willie's. I would hope that our players avoid that place as much as possible. On that note, gosh, what a fun show. What a good time hanging out with you guys. Please, please come back. It seems I should be seeing, you mess with me, Mikey. I like when Grandizer calls me Mikey. That's what we call my son, Mikey. They called me Little Mike when I was a kid. And then they called me Balky. Like there was some show with a guy named Balky Bartakamis on. It was like him and Tom Hanks or something. And they were like friends, best friend. I don't know. I think they dressed up like girls to live in, I don't know. Anyway, Balky Bartakamis. So I was Balky for a while. And then I was Flash. And then I was Wilk. And then I've like had these weird names. Now I'm just dumbass. What does it say? Mike, I don't know if you can say, but are you based out of Denver or another city in Colorado? My family is in Colorado. I am not in Colorado. I am out here on the Carmelini Ranch, which remains hidden safely away. Turtle, peace out. Yeah, keep things on the down low. Keep it simple. You know, we've got beautiful little acreage out here. We got a golf course out here that family owns, and yeah. You know, it's weird to be like a private person. Like I like on my Twitter account, I have like 2,100 people or something like that. I don't know. I haven't checked, but like, I don't know one single person on my Twitter account. Like I don't follow anybody or let anybody that knows me follow me. Yeah, it's always fun. Put where you're at, Colorado, we got Arkansas. Sometimes it's fun. Sometimes I see people from different parts of the country. Normally when David and I are on and we have a bigger stream, this is like a pretty small stream tonight, which is fine. I love these just as much. But yeah, we kind of, like the only people that I know that watch these, there's very few. Most people, there's very few people that even know that I do this. Kind of tried to keep it to myself because first of all, I didn't know how it was going to go, and then didn't know it was going to blow up like it kind of did, and I just kind of didn't want to get all the shit from the people that I knew about it because I'm not surrounded by Broncos fans, and so now that it's gotten out, I don't care, but it's fun. So, Cornbreadamus Maximus is from Arkansas. I have a very good old high school buddy that lives down in Arkansas, and I visited him, and it was absolutely lovely. The Blue Oyster Bar, the Iron Spike. What was the Iron Spike? It was the Dark Horse just closed. Did you guys hear that? The Dark Horse in Boulder closed. Oh man, that was a heartbreaker. But what are you gonna do? I don't know which one the Iron Spike. You're still messing with me, aren't you? Linebacker from LSU, Mike Oxmal looks pretty good. Dennis, you're. See, you don't know me that well, Dennis, because I don't know who that is. But I will make a note of that and check that out. Take care, Mike. You and your viewers have a safe, good weekend. Grandizer, you too as well. Always awesome to see you. And it was bosom buddies. Thank you for saving me. Balky Bartakamis. And then he was in He was in Beverly Hills Cop too, and he was like that weird little salesman in there. And I used to be able to imitate him really well, but I won't do it tonight. So, right, I don't share private info. That's true. Um, Great night, great show. This was a lot of fun. We went an hour and 45 minutes. Holy crap! Thanks for everybody for joining in. We'll see you tomorrow. I should be on with Dublin to Denver, and yeah, Perfect Strangers. Ooh, which one was it? Was it Bosom Buddies or Perfect Strangers? I don't know. I'll see you next time.